Hello everyone, welcome to the Java Advanced playlist. In this playlist, I'm going to discuss about first with you JDBC. Once our JDBC is over, then after we are going to discuss about Hibernate. Once Hibernate is over, then after we are going to discuss about Spring. Once Spring is over, then after we are going to discuss about Spring Boot. Okay, so in this playlist, why I'm going to discuss this is because after this we have to implement the microservices. Okay, so after we cover this all, then after we have to discuss the microservices. Okay, so let us discuss one by one why we need exactly JDBC, Hibernate, Spring Boot, and the microservices. Okay, so now with the help of JDBC, you are going to connect your application to the database, but in that, your application is database dependent. Okay, so that is why we have to use the next framework is known as Hibernate. So in the Hibernate, our application is database independent. It means according to the requirement, whenever you want to change to the database, that we can do with the help of single statement. That is why we need to be use the Hibernate. Once we complete the Hibernate, then after we have to discuss about Spring Framework. Okay, so we have to connect our application to the database with the help of Hibernate or JDBC. Then after what we have to do, we have to convert our application into dependent to loose coupled application. It means in our functionality in our application is not the database it's not the dependent on object. It needs to be loose coupled. For that you are going to achieve the Spring. Okay, and once your application is loosed, then after you need to be do on the same application the minimal configuration with the help of Spring Boot. Okay, so you are going to create the minimal configuration and rapid application development through the Spring Boot. Okay, once Spring Boot is over, then after once we get the all knowledge, then we are going to apply on the microservices. So with the help of microservices, we are going to convert our monolithic application into the microservices that we are going to discuss in the our advanced Java playlist. So for today's session, let us first discuss the JDBC, and then after in the next sessions we are going to discuss about different parts like Hibernate, Spring Boot, and the microservices. Okay, I hope you are going to continue with me. Okay, so now let us understand the first topic in our Java playlist. Java Advanced playlist is known as JDBC. Okay, so we are not calling just JDBC, we are calling it is known as API. Okay, so let's first understand what is mean by API. So API. Okay, so let us understand first example, and then after let's see how API works. Okay, so API. So consider, let us see one example. So you are usually you are going to the hotel. So let's see hotel example. So consider you went through the hotel. Okay, so user is sitting here, and the user wants to uh, order something. Okay, and obviously order will come from the kitchen. Okay, so order will come from the kitchen. So you want food. Okay, so you want food and food will come from the kitchen. That is a basic analogy. Okay, but how will you communicate? So you are going to communicate through the waiter. Okay, so waiter will take your order, and the waiter will provide to the kitchen, and kitchen will give you the your food. Okay, so this is simple communication is known as the API communication. So here technically let us discuss now. So you requested to the waiter, and waiter request to the kitchen, and kitchen give the response to the waiter, and waiter will communicate to you. This is simple is known as the API, application programming interface. Okay, so how we can discuss API technically? So API stands for application programming interface, And with the help of API, we can set up the rules and the protocol. Okay, so we are going to set the rules and protocols that allow to communication of two softwares. Okay, so with the help of API, we are now going to communicate with the two softwares. So let us see one example of an API. So here, client. So this is a client system, and client wants to something from the server. So here you have a server. Okay, so here we are going to use the API. So here API will work for you. API, application programming interface. So here client is going to send the request, and once request will come to server, server is going to give you the response. Okay, so this simple communication we can do with the help of API. Okay, so there are popular APIs. I hope all of you know, like whenever you want to integrate something like, the Google Maps. So you are not writing coding for the Google Maps. You are just asking the Google Map API. Okay, you are not integrate the internal code of the Google Map API. Then after you want payment in your application. So you are asking payment API. So payment API will come for you. Okay, like browser PayPal for the online payment system. And the popular like what we are learning now. This is known as JDBC API. So JDBC API will we are going to write, and the JDBC API work for the interactions between the between Java application to the database. This is known as the JDBC API. Okay, so now let's cover now what exactly JDBC API mean. Okay, so now let us discuss now JDBC API. Okay, so I hope now is clear to you what is mean by API. So now in this topic, let us discuss about JDBC API. Okay, so JDBC API is an API that allows Java application to interact with relational databases. Okay, so it's it's allow to Java application to interact interaction interaction between Java to databases. Okay, so this is a simple mean by JDBC API. Then after using the JDBC API, we are going to manipulate our objects to the database. Okay, so like we want to insert data, we want to delete record. So all these the operations we are going to discuss using the JDBC API. Okay, so JDBC API stand for Java Database Connectivity. Okay, so JDBC API stand for Java Database Connectivity, and JDBC API provides it's provide us Java.SQL package. So the java.sql package has set of classes and interfaces. Using these classes and interfaces, we are going to communicate to the database. So we have set of classes and interfaces inside the java.sql package. With this, we are going to connect our application to the database. Okay. So for example, we have a one class here. This is driver manager class, and the another package, like we have another interfaces like connection. So we have this driver manager class. Then after we have connection interface. Then after we have statement statement interface. So this is the our interfaces. Okay, so these are the our interfaces. So driver manager is a class and they are now going to communicate with the database. So this is known as JDBC API. So they are now communicating with the database. This is known as the JDBC API. Okay. I hope now is clear to everyone what is the JDBC API. So JDBC API means Java Database Connectivity. We are using JDBC API to manipulate our object to the database. JDBC API provides java.sql package. In that package, we have set of classes and interfaces that gonna use to communicate with the database. For example, you can see driver manager is a class, connection is an interface, statement is an interface that going to communicate with our Java application to the database. So here we are going to connect our Java application. So here we have this Java application. So this Java application now going to come in Java application. So this Java application now we are going to connect with the database. So this is the database, and how we can connect this Java application to the database. For that, the internal work is known as JDBC API. So this is the simple term is known as JDBC API. I hope I'm clear with everyone why we are going to use the JDBC API. Okay, so now we want to connect our application to the database. So for that we are going to use the JDBC API. So we have to follow some steps to connect our application to the database. The steps are following. So first step is very important. This is known as load driver. Okay, in the first step, what we have to do, we have to load driver. In the second step, we have to create a connection with database. Okay, third step, in the third step, we have to create a query. We have to create a query. In the fourth step, in the fourth step, in the fourth step, we have to create the statement, and in the fifth step, once you have created the statement, then you have to fifth step execute the statement, and then sixth step we have to close statement and connection. So in the sixth step we have to close the connection and the statement. Okay, so these steps we have to follow to connect our Java application to the database. So first step, load driver. Second step, create a connection. Third step, we have to create a query. Then after we have to create a statement. Then after we have to execute the statement, and then after close statement and the connection. Okay, so these steps, if you follow, then you are going to connect your Java application, Java app to the database. You are going to connect your Java app to the database with the help of these steps. So these steps is all about these steps is all about create, then query, then load driver, then create statement, execute statement, and close. So if you follow these steps, then only you are going to connect your Java application to the database. Okay, so I hope now all of you are clear. Okay, so now let us discuss about first step is known as load driver. Okay, so now let's see the one example of the JDBC API, and then after let us talk about the step. Okay, so here we have Ram, okay, and we have Sham. Okay, so Ram wants to go to Sham's place. Ram wants to go to Sham's place. Ram is living in Jalgaon and Sham is living in Mumbai. Okay, so Ram first will go to bus stand. Okay, now let's see the analogy, and then after we are going to discuss about our JDBC code. So Ram going to bus stand. Okay, and then Ram sat on sit. Then after what happened? Driver came. Driver came and Ram told to the driver where he wants to go. Okay. Then after what happened? After bus start, driver is loaded successfully. Bus started. The destination is also cleared. Then after Ram asked to the driver to stop some places he wants to visit. Okay, so Ram wants to visit somewhere. So Ram asked to the driver to stop to the some places because Ram does not have this steering with him. So that is why Ram told to the driver, and driver driver did the same what Ram has told to the driver. Okay, and once driver did, then after Ram went to Sham place. Okay, so now let us discuss this analogy with the help of this example. So once driver is loaded, okay, so in the first step, driver is loaded. So we have achieved driver load driver step. Then after second, we have declared the destiny Mumbai to Jalgaon. This is the destiny with our Java application to the database. For that, we have created the connection. Okay. Once we created the connection, then after our third step is what? We asked to the driver to stop some places. For that, you have created the query. Okay, you have asked to the driver. For that, you have created the query. Okay, once you created the query, then after you are not directly uh, you are you are not have steering with you. For that you have created the statement. It means we are asking to the driver to stop some places because you don't have this pairing with you. Then after driver is going to stop these where places you want. For that we have you are going to do execute statements. Okay, once driver stop the places at the end, uh, our last stop came, and then after Ram Ram went to Sham place, and bus is now bus is the he went from bus, so bus is now went to the this place. So that is why we close with the connection with bus and the RAM. Okay, so everything is now closed. So for that, we are going to use the close. So now let's see this analogy with practical. Okay, so for that, what we have to do? So first, we have to load our driver. So first, we have to load our driver. So let us see with the help of the this example practically. I'm going to use this analogy in our example as well. Okay, so now let us see. So first step is load driver. Okay, so very important step. First step, load driver. Okay, so now what what is mean by driver? Okay, so in driver is if you are going to print something on your laptop, so you need driver. Okay, so print driver you need, or you are going to audio, you want to play some audio in your system, you need driver. Then after you want to play some video, you need video driver. Okay, so what I mean, driver means is known as supportive file. Okay, so in Java we need driver. Okay, so why we are using driver? So in Java we need driver because Java itself doesn't know know how to talk with the a specific database. Okay, so that is why that's why we are going to use the driver. Okay, so we have four types of driver. Okay, so now let us see one by one the four types of driver. Very important thing is that in Java we have four types of driver. Some drivers are legacy drivers, that but at theoretically we should know that. Okay, so now let us see types of driver. Okay, so I'm going to write here types of driver in Java JDBC. Okay, so types of driver, we saw four types of drivers we have. So first type of driver is your JDBC ODBC bridge driver. Okay, so JDBC ODBC bridge driver, it means you are going to communicate your Java API Java calls into JDBC bridge, and that JDBC bridge going to convert into ODBC driver, and then after your Java calls convert into the database. Okay, so what I have discussed, so this is your Java application. So this is your Java app. So this Java app first convert JDBC ODBC bridge. Okay, so this is JDBC ODBC bridge. Okay, then after once JDBC ODBC bridge is over, once JDBC converted into the ODBC, then after your calls converted into ODBC driver, and then after your Java API calls went to the database. Okay, so for example, your friend is Mumbai right now. Your friend is Mumbai. Okay, and you want to send something to his friend, and his friend is now in Chennai. Okay, so now how the communication happen? So parcel wants to send to Chennai. So the person from Mumbai, he asks to the local courier system. Okay, so in that time, what had happened? He needs to convert his language to the he needs to be convert first his language to local courier system. So that time he needs to be talk to Chennai. Okay, so I want to communicate with the I want to send the parcel, and then after the local courier system, once he talk with the Tamil, then after he have asked to the Chennai courier team, asked to the parcel to the local team and in the local language, and then after local courier system has transferred the parcel to the Chennai friend. So in that time what has happened, the thing is happened that he needs to be translate the calls to the local, and once local calls will translate again, the local has distributed, and then after your parcel went to the Chennai friend. Okay, so here what things are happened, the translator gives to a third party to the courier is known as ODBT, who's deliver. So here your Java calls. Now, in the first type of driver, your Java calls will convert first, and then after ODBC will the translate to the third party, will translate to the third party. So this is known as the JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So here you have the JDBC ODBC bridge, and JDBC ODBC bridge will transfer to ODBC driver, and then after your data will be go to the database. So it is quite long process, but is used to for the prototyping. So it is slower, and the translator must be available on the system. Okay, so it is not used from Java 8. Now second type of driver, now let us see second type of driver is known as the type 2 driver is known as native API driver. Okay, so in the native API driver, the process like your Java application. Okay, so now the Java application, your go to your Java API call. So this is your Java API call, and that Java API will convert your call into native API. I will explain you. Wait, I will explain you with the help of analogy. So this native API, and once native API will go, and then after you are going to deliver your Java application calls to the database. Okay, so in that process, what is going to happen? So now your Mumbai friend wants to send gift to the your Chennai friend. Okay, so now he hired the taxi driver. Okay, so he hired a taxi driver, and the taxi driver is going to take help from the map. Okay, so now he hire the taxi. So whenever he want to send the gift, so he hire the taxi, and taxi man is going to use the map. Okay, so he's a residence one and he's going to use the map. With the help of map, he's going to share the parcel to the Chennai friend. So in that time, what is going to happen? The Mumbai friend, when hire the taxi, that time he is going to use the map. So map is what? Map is dependent. So he is dependent on the map. So for this second method, your second method is dependent on the native DB map. So here these steps are OS dependent. So now the native API is OS dependent. So that is why this is a disadvantage in the native API driver. So we need to be install the map for the city softwares in your machine. So that is why we need to be required the maps install in our system, and then only we can forward to our parcel to our Chennai friend. So this is the because of the dependencies we are not using this driver. So for that we need to be discuss of our third type of driver. This is known as driver. Type third driver is known as network protocol driver. Okay, so this is quite similar to our first driver, what we have saw. Uh, you know, so network protocol driver. So in the network protocol driver, what is going to happen? So your Java application. So this is your Java application. So Java application calls first is going to convert into network protocol. Okay, once it is convert into network protocol, once network protocol will go complete, then after it will come to middle software. Okay, so once it is complete, then it will come to software, and once middle software will complete, then after it will go to the database. Okay, so this process is followed by the third driver. So Java application will come to network protocol, then after middle software, and then only your code is going to convert into your calls is going to database call. So now here, what is the analogy? So now you sending the parcel to the middleman office, and they are going to deliver using the best route. So now your parcel, so green color I'm going to, so this parcel, for example, this Mumbai parcel you want to share to the Chennai. So Mumbai man going to give the parcel to the middle one, and they are going to find the best route where actual the deliveries. Okay, so it is very flexible, but depends on the network how the middleware. So how many teams you have for the middleware to transfer the our parcel. So it is also depend on the network. Okay, so depends on the network. This is our third driver. Okay, so you saw that we need translator, we need OS dependent, then after we need depend, on network. So these are the things now we can implement with the help of our fourth driver. And fourth driver is very, very important. This is known as thin driver. Okay. So now let us understand our fourth driver. Type 4 is known as thin driver. Okay. So thin driver is all. It is a pure Java driver. So all the instructions and everything is now written in the Java. So now with the help of this code driver, your code, your Java application, your Java application data now going to translate to the database. So nothing we are going to use here. We are not using any translator. We are not using any network. We are directly communicating our request to directly into the database oriented, and we are going to get the response. So this is known as the driver. So it is purely on Java. So analogy, let us understand. So now your Java, the Mumbai friend directly share the parcel on flight. Okay, and the parcel is now went to Chennai, and your Chennai friend came to the airport and he took the parcel. So same thing. So directly to the database. Okay, while via protocols. Okay, so this is all about the drivers in the JDBC. Okay, so now the driver is just we are going to look the theoretically because we are actually using our fourth driver. This is known as thin driver. Okay, so now let's understand Java JDBC API and the steps. Okay, so in our next session, we are going to discuss the each and every step about our JDBC, like create connection, create load driver, create query, create statement, execute statement, and then after we are going to see the practical. I hope you like this session. Thank you all of you, and please practice for the Java JDBC types of driver, understand theoretically because it would be helpful for you when you are going to do the practical. Thank you everyone to join the session.